website is sfh.ie for your donation.
Talk to Joe on 1850 715 815.
COVID-19 is here, and we need to slow the spread of the virus. Everyone should stay at home, though we can go out to buy food and medicines or for exercise. If we go out, we must keep 2 meters between ourselves and people outside our household. Everyone over 70 or people with serious health conditions should stay at home altogether. Family carers and our public services will make sure you have the support you need. For information, go to hse.ie or call 1850 24 1850. Protection from coronavirus. It's in our hands. From the HSE.
At On Post, we believe that in these challenging times, we all need to play our part. Our postmen and women have seen your efforts, so we're playing our part too. Post offices remain open, serving their communities. Deliveries and collections continue to operate. On our rounds, working with the elderly alone, we're checking in on the elderly and vulnerable who can't leave home, ensuring all is well. And so they can stay in touch with loved ones, we'll now collect their post for free, because it's all about keeping connected as we continue to stay apart. For details, see onpost.com. On Post, for your world.
Sup guys, what a totes amazeballs pandemic I'm having. My approval ratings are so high, I'm more popular than toilet paper. Plus with Mary Lou stuck in Cabra and most of the doll missing, I'm like the Tish off the leash. My speeches are off the chain. It's like I'm the Magic Mike version of Dev. Callum's Kicks, Fridays at 6:40 on RT Radio 1 and on podcast.
Liveline on RTE Radio 1 with the Kia 7-year warranty. Wherever the next 7 years bring you, Kia has you covered.
Talk to Joe on 1850 715 815.
We're talking to Brendan Gleeson. He's leading the campaign, has for a number of years, but especially in the current crisis, for fundraising for St. Francis Hospice, Blanchardstown and Raheny. They do wonderful homes in every sense of the word, a house, a home, a family atmosphere, and you can donate by. Brendan didn't think he was coming off the whole programme, by the way, so it was just a reaction. sfh.ie, please donate to St. Francis Hospice on their website, or 8327535. John Tomlin, John, your connection with Brendan Gleeson.
Good afternoon, Joe, and happy birthday to Brendan. just to say that your dad was my first ever boss in the civil service from 1972. For a good number of years, and I just wanted to remark on the fact that he was really concerned at the time that you might give up your job as a teacher and become an actor. I know, he used to say he's mad keen on that whole acting business. Yeah. I just wish he wouldn't do it. Obviously, I'm sure he turned out extremely proud of the decision that you took, Brendan.
Well, he seemed to be, but you wouldn't know it. You know, he was great, but he did tell somebody told me that a third party said that he had gone, saying that he was worried that I was messing about with the old act. And I was thinking, yeah.
And what was he like as a boss, John? He was
one of the things that there were two particular facets of him. One was he used to smoke, I don't know, between 40 and 60 cows number one every day. And he always had a few spare packets in the drawer in case he ran out. Right. But he was an extremely diligent man. Extremely diligent, and worked many, many hours of unpaid overtime in the role that he had. But a very fair boss.
So a very good public servant. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. And that's we're seeing so many examples of that at the moment, which Brendan alluded to earlier. Public service of the at the heart of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it needs to be elevated a little bit. The idea of public service, don't you? It's like yeah, my dad was a big believer. He was fond. Sean, wasn't you that was there during the blackout? Was it? There was an incident that somebody told me about my father where they had been working like till 5:30 or whatever it was, and in the dead of winter the lights went out, and he called the lads. Happened a few times, I think. Yeah, and he called the lads in apparently, and just the lads, none of the girls, into his office and handed out the fags, and they were all smoking away there, and then after, you know, half an hour the lights came back on, and he said, no, nobody can accuse you of anything. That wasn't you, was it?
No, it wasn't me. But I would say that he was ultra conservative, so he wasn't going to do anything wrong.
Okay.
No, he was a very nice man, and I know he was really proud of you, Brendan, and all that you've achieved, and indeed your son as well.
I really appreciate that, John. It's lovely to hear about him. It really is. Thanks very much.
And Brendan, and many in the family. Thanks indeed, John Tomlin.
Okay,
really. Brendan, and many. I know about the boys. We'll talk about them if we can, because we want to mention.
Sorry, you called him Sean.
How many siblings do you have, Brendan?
3.
Okay, there's Barry, obviously, who we mentioned.
Barry, and then Mick is the eldest fellow, Michael, and then...
and Barry's a teacher, you said that, didn't you?
Barry was a teacher, yeah, he's finished up as well now.
Okay.
And Frank is my younger brother down in Soonboo in Galway. And, yeah, we're all in good health, and, yeah, it's nice. I replicated my own family with my sons, or 4 sons, and 3 brothers, so it's the same. Too few women in this family, but what can we do? The ones that are here are spoiled. At least that's my story anyway.
Somebody wants to mention your mother, Brandon. Nee Jordan, I should say, from...
Oh, good.
Neve.
Hello, how are you, Brendan?
Hi, Neve, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Do you remember, you know who I am? You do?
I do, yeah, I do.
It's a question everyone dreads. You know who I am.
Yeah, my mother's best friend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my mum and Auntie Pat, as we knew her, were very, very close. So all their lives until Pat died. Mum used to talk about...
Your Auntie Pat, sorry, as you referred to, is Brendan's mother.
Yeah,
mother. Oh,
yeah. Auntie Pat and Uncle Frank, they were known as. We didn't see them all that massively often, I don't think, because we were on the south side and Brendan was on the north side. And but I have one very, very clear memory of a time in the early days with the tape recorders. And we went over to your house, and Pat and Frank had a tape recorder, and none of us had seen it. And we spent time, I think we had to sing and do recitations. And Mum had a copy of that. I'm sure you probably still have that copy.
I have some tapes, yeah. I have some tapes, but a lot of them were recorded over. I don't know what I have and what I haven't. That's part of what I have at the minute.
When you said, I was listening to you, and when you said that, I thought, I wonder how you got that tape. Mum, we have it at home for years.
Oh, great.
I think when she claims she gave it to me, and I was going to make a copy, or somebody in our house was going to make a copy, and it went missing.
I know.
Neve, how did your mother and Brendan's mother, were they neighbours, or how did they come so close?
Mum was in Bray, and I don't know, I don't remember where Pat grew up. Was
Marino.
Yeah, but Mum they both went to school in Haddington Road, from what I remember. And then I think they both joined, were they both in government or civil service?
I'm not sure how they got together. Some of them, there was a group of 4 of them used to meet all the time, and some of them had gone to primary school in Marino Primary School. That's where she was. Yeah. And so some of them had met very early on.
That was Eleanor McAvoy's mum was one of those friends, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the description of Frank, Brendan's father, from John Tomlin, who Frank was shy, generous, very diligent, a real public servant. How do you remember your Auntie Pat, Neve?
I just remember her as being red hair and lovely. She was always there with the cuddles when you'd arrive in the car. She'd be down out the door would be open before you'd get to the hall door. And we didn't see her all that often, but Mum spent her life talking about it. And my son is actually here with me, and he said, make sure you say, even to her dying day, she'd talk about Pat.
Yeah, no, they were very, very close, and they were lovely. The whole group of them were lovely women. They were just warm and open and fun. But I can remember you in our house. Coming in with me, yeah, I can. I'm kind of, looking sort of rather wide-eyed across this block, lovely, and saying, what are we going to have to do now for this? Because the recitations and all that have come out, and you you'd have to produce something. But the tape recordings I had, and then some of them got taped over, and then some. I still have some of them to read to reels, and I bought about 2 old junk ones that didn't work properly, trying to kind of record off them. But I'm determined to get them done as soon as things calm down.
Okay, Niamh, thanks indeed. That's Niamh Lean. You're keeping well, obviously, Niamh. Thanks for contacting us on 185715. Thanks, Niamh.
Thanks, Steve.
Bye.
And 51551, wash your hands. The St. Francis Hospice website, Brendan is fundraising for them, is fsh.ie. He came on just to remind people, because you've heard him on the ads, but it's turned into people want to talk to Brendan, and Brendan can't make an excuse and say, I've got to catch a plane to go back to LA, because he's like the rest of us, he's locked down at the minute. Stephen, you mentioned the red hair, Brendan, your mother's red hair. You have reddish hair, so to speak. It was most prominent most recently in Paddington 2. Stephen Walsh, would you want to ask Brendan a question about Paddington 2, if he can remember it, probably a few years ago. Go ahead, Stephen.
Hiya, Joe. Hiya, Brendan. I'm sitting here working from home with my little boy, Ryan. Ryan Walsh is his baby. He's 6 years old. And he heard your voice and he said, that sounds very familiar, because one of his favourite movies is Paddington Bear 2. So I just wondered if he could ask you a question. Yeah, he could, of course.
Okay.
Are you best friends with Paddington?
Knuckles McGinty, you're talking to now. Now, you're talking to Knuckles McGinty.
Yeah.
And Knuckles, Ryan's question was, Knuckles, are you still best friends with Paddington Bear?
Well, he rings up every so often, and to be honest with you, I have to be in the mood, but he's been very good. He's staying at home, and he's washing his hands all the time. And he rings him up, and sometimes you can hear that the phone is wet, and he slips out of his hand, he lets it fall. But he's still he's in great form.
And Ryan, you want to ask Knuckles a question about marmalade?
Yeah. Do you like marmalade?
I love marmalade. I adore marmalade. Marmalade. That's what I call it. Marmalade.
And Paddington, as I say, it's one of I'm trying to do a list of the movies that you're available to if people have Netflix or Prime or all the various other platforms at the minute. The number of movies that Brendan is in. The one I watched most recently again was The General, and I just thought that was stunning.
That was John Gorman, and if he's listening, just best wishes to him. He's sit down and wake up. He's a great man.
He just had a new book, a new memoir. And
that's right, and he has it for me, and I haven't had a chance to get it from him, which I'm raging about, but I will.
Okay, well, the post maybe post it to you.
No, I want the excuse to go down.
Okay, so just deliver the letter.
Is that down to Anima or
the Harcourt Centre for a man?
Well, yeah, we go to lunch to the Anima in the round in
Cabra.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Stephen Walsh, and above all, thanks, Ryan Walsh, for talking to us.
Back to the house. 16 minutes to get there from Cabra.
Thank you, dear. Don't forget to wash your hands.
I won't, thank you.
Okay, brilliant, Ryan, well done. Tony Weldon wants to talk to Brendan. Go ahead, Tony. Betty
Hello, a fella flagging me in there.
Brendan,
but
I met yourself and Barry up in the Knoll way back.
Only taking goods.
I think it was a bit of a Leinster flat.
Just too risky.
And I came up after dinner Sunday evening, about 7:30, and I had my guitar with me, and you guys were sitting over in the corner. Now, it was a big table, and there was about 10 or 11 of you guys around the table. And I reckon there's about 80 empty glasses on the table.
Right. None of them were mine.
They were from an earlier group.
Bullshit. But these are in great form, and I sang a few songs for Barry. He liked my guitar. I have a Loudon, and he said, "That's one animal of a yoke you have there." he says, "Can you make it growl?" I said, "I can." Yeah. So we growled for a while, and
It was very nice meeting you, and nice people. Of course, musicians are always friendly together.
Yeah. And Tony, do you still play the guitar?
Oh yeah, I have it here beside me, yeah.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Oh, don't be afraid, I'm not going to play it. But I used to work in Lincoln. I retired a few years ago.
You were? Did you jam with Brendan and his
well, you don't call it that.
Oh, no, you don't, sorry. Correct.
If you recall, Joe, we spoke about the Kilses there some years ago.
Okay, so
I'm a member of the Trim Kilses for about 52 years now.
Brendan, okay, let me bounce something. Brendan, have you got your mandolin nearby?
It's looking at me here, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take a break, and Tony, well, I'd let the two of you have a chat. I'd love to hear the two of you play together, given the mad world we're living in at the minute, where people can't have sessions, except over the telephone or whatever. Brendan, you don't have to if you don't want to, but we'd love to hear you.
You don't really mean that, Joe.
No, I know that. And remember the St. Francis Hospice sfh.ie for your donation. And the pen, it's up to yourself. You can calibrate your donation. Tony's called on his roadie there, Marie, to get his various instruments. You can listen to Brendan and Tony. Hopefully we can get something together, and then you can calibrate your donation based on the entertainment value. Coming up after this break, 51551. Wash your hands.
Talk to Joe on 1850 715 815.
This Easter Monday, hear the RTE Concert Orchestra and guests perform the words and music of Leonard Cohen. In a special bank holiday programme, there's a chance to hear highlights of a stunning sold-out concert in March, with Phelan Drew, Mick Flannery, Lisa Hannigan, Moncrief and Suzanne Savage. Join us for the RTE Concert Orchestra performs Leonard Cohen, Easter Monday, 3 o'clock on RTE Radio 1.
Hiya, Brendan Gleeson here. St. Francis Hospice, Raheny, Blanchardstown must be able to support and care for its very vulnerable patients during these difficult times. I'm appealing to you now to donate to the hospice by phone 832 7535 or online at sfh.ie. Thanks. Keep safe.
COVID-19 is a major public health emergency here in Ireland and around the world. It's having a big impact on the way we live our lives, the way our communities come together, and the way we do business. Most businesses are finding things tough, and many have had to let people go. To help keep as many businesses going as possible and keep as many people as possible in their jobs, a major new package of financial support has been put in place and is available right now for you at gov.ie. Supported by the Government of Ireland.
From concert hall to parish hall, Killala House brings you the best of Irish traditional music, song and chat from your community. That's Killala House every Saturday night at 9 o'clock on RTE Radio 1.
Liveline on RTE Radio 1 with the Kia 7-year warranty. Wherever the next 7 years bring you, Kia has you covered.
Joe Duffy. Talk to Joe on 1850 715 815.
We're talking to Brendan Gleeson, fundraising for St. Francis Hospice, Raheny, Blanchardstown. Incredible work, as you heard Brendan at the start of the programme an hour ago talk about at length about his own parents and how they were treated so beautifully, I think was the word. sfh.ie for your donation. Now, Tony Weldon plays the guitar. Now, I'm just realising, Brendan, have you got your mandolin in your hand, so to speak?
Well, I have, but I have to put the phone down.
What I'm thinking,
I don't have a thing to put it on. It's the landline I'm on.
So and how do you hear Tony?
I can't. He's going to have to follow me, I'm afraid.
Okay, so Tony, will you follow? What are you going to play, Brendan?
I'd say the Plains of Boyle. I have lots of friends down in Boyle in Liscommon.
Okay.
So I'd play that.
Okay, Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan, what key are you playing it in?
What key?
D, I'd say.
D, okay, lovely.
And in and around there.
Oh, real pros there now, the two of them. Go ahead. Tony, do your best. It's a bit of crack and that. And Brendan will lead.
Yeah.
Do you know the big long extension lead? Do you know where that is?
No, is it not on the shed?
Can't see it. All right, okay.
Why do you think you need a big long extension lead?
What, do in my car?
Out the front.
Mm.
Just flanny
Well, I could
lead.
bring it in. What?
Just flanny lead into the hall.
Right. Then I have to bring it through the... Oh, no, I wouldn't have to bring it through the house, should I? Wouldn't now. Good idea. Good idea, Batman. Okay, right.
Aye.
Bye, bye.
Bye.
Wonderful. Tony Weldon, accompanied by award-winning actor Brendan Gleeson. Brendan, that was magnificent. That was magnificent. And the mandolin is not an easy instrument to play. You mentioned Mary, your wife, and you're together a long time and how supportive, and the jump that you made from teaching to acting, it could not have happened without Mary. But Donald, Breen, Fergus, Rory, well, they're known in their own right. Fergus is a musician, now Rory's a writer. He had his first novel out there about 2 years ago.
Yeah, doing sure,
yeah, coming of age. I read it. Excellent. How are the boys?
The lads are great, yeah. They're, as I say, the two lads were doing this series up in, they did, I think, 3 or 4 weeks here and 3 or 4 weeks up in Belfast. So Donald and Brian are kind of working together on that.
And they wrote it and they're performing in it, I presume. Yes, okay, wow.
And it's very silly.
Great.
And it's basically inappropriate. That's what I put. That's where I put it.
Is that what your father would have described it as?
That's what my father would have definitely described it as, yeah.
And Fergus and Rory.
And by the way, just for Neil Jordan there, I think it was Deirdre Jordan with her mother, and I think I have a note from her mother to my dad after my mum died, which I found very moving actually when I was going through some stuff last week. It's funny, she was a lovely woman. They're just all wear. But anyway, yeah. So Fergus doing great, and he's working from home now, and Rory's writing away and doing his thing.
And who's in the house? Who are the two boys in the house at the moment?
Rory and Fergus are here at the minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Donald, they were in the middle of that project, and we presumed you were 8 days away from finishing that.
Yeah, they kind of made the call to stop it, which was the right thing. There was there are 6 episodes in this thing, and they had 5 of them, and we had started 6. I'm just in the last one, and they made the right call to, I think, just to knock it on the head. Very frustrating, but there was 50 or 60 people in a small house, and jumping in and out of cars and doing all these. You can't keep any distance.
Okay. Ken McFadden says you were his teacher. Ken.
Oh, Ken.
Speak freely, Ken.
Hi, Joe. Yeah, Brett was my teacher from 87 to whenever he left. I can't remember what year he left.
Yeah, 89, I think I left. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you taught me English and religion, and you taught my two brothers as well.
Yeah. How much did I mess your life up?
No, brilliant. You're a great teacher. Yeah, you used to do a bit of music on a Friday as well.
Oh yeah, just to spread the word. No, it was good. I loved Belcamp. Was a great. I have to say, Belcamp was a fascinating school. When I went up there, Owen Hottie was in charge. He was the manager of it, and it had a mixture of boarding school and then the local community in Darndale, and then people from Malahide and various other places. So there was a huge mix of the social mix in terms of people who were from all sorts, from all over the city. I just loved it. It was great. The lads were hilarious. I suppose now it was odd where there was no women, no girls, just males only, but it would just seem to have its own life, didn't it, Belcamp?
Sorry, I don't see Ken on my screen. I think he might have gone off the screen there. Yeah, other calls dropped as well. Brendan, Edward Drew. You're an animal wrangler.
Brendan, how are you? How are you doing? Just reminiscing, Brendan, we worked with you on Calgary with a lovely dog called Cara, a Labrador.
Yeah.
And just your charm with people alone, with the way you bonded with that dog, stick to my head. There was a little story, Brendan, where this was the Labrador with his dog as a priest. And at one scene, he was going fishing, and the dog had to leave the house with him fishing as his dog and go down the field. And I hid behind the wall, probably 700 or 800 metres away, and with that, the dog just flew down, and it was quite obvious I was hiding behind the wall. So we started to do the scene again, and whatever Brendan bent down and said something about dog in his ear, it just walked beside him as if they were best buddies for 10 years. So his charm with animals overpasses.
He was a beautiful dog. He stole that movie. Like all anybody would say is, who killed the dog?
Yeah.
He was absolutely beautiful.
She was. But just to say thank you so much. It was a pleasure working with you. And I think I went to work with you 2 weeks ago with your son's Flutter Club up in Belfast. But
great.
And what animal were you bringing up?
We had a little puppy. Who's already been shot. But I think now if they go ahead to continue the film, the puppy's going to be probably 2-3 months older. So whether it's going to be really funny.
Okay.
But we'd all look a bit odd. The continuity will be the challenge there. All right, for sure.
Thanks, Edward.
Thank you all. Take care.
God bless you, Edward. Drew. Elizabeth O'Carroll. Was this a movie as well you saw Brendan making?
Brendan, he came out to our farm come garden centre, and he was making a documentary or something. I don't know what it was, but he was walking backwards with the microphone in his hand, and he fell over the dog. I don't know if he remembers it.
I said a dog does.
And he landed in a load of muck, and we had to go and get my father's trousers because they were too small for him, and a shirt, and they filmed him from up instead of back, but he fell into the muck. Do you remember that, Brendan?
I don't really. I remember that. I think that's in it was a program about North County Dublin, and we were calling them the Dublin Cultures.
That's right.
It was about all the building that was gone up on that lovely land up there. So I remember the documentary, but I had actually rammed that into the back of my head where I never had to think about it again.
Well, I never
remember that. Well remembered. Brendan, do you remember how many movies you've been in at this stage?
I don't really, but I've been lucky to be able to work on a lot of them, that's for sure,
Okay, I'll give out the details of St. Francis Hospice.ie donation after this break. Sorry, Liz, go ahead.
I thought he was absolutely magnificent playing Michael Collins.
Oh, he's brilliant.
And
everything, and Winston Churchill. And when you see his Donald Trump, brilliant actor.
Well,
I'd be falling into the muck again, I think, backwards.
Back after this, 51551.
All right.
Talk to Joe on 1850 715 815.
Whether you love watching big cats in your favourite wildlife show or small cats in funny cat videos, if you watch them on a TV, then you must have a TV licence. It's the law. That's just one of the terms and conditions of life in Ireland. So get yours at tvlicence.ie or at any post office. Brought to you by the Government of Ireland.
If your business is affected by the current coronavirus crisis, then you may be eligible for the SBCI COVID-19 Working Capital Scheme. Loans are available to fund future working capital requirements or support adaptation, innovation and change aimed at mitigating the impact of COVID-19 and are available to aid businesses in facing the challenges ahead. Eligible businesses must expect a negative impact of 15% or more on turnover or profitability due to COVID-19. Loans range from €25,000 up to €1.5 million, are unsecured up to €500,000 and have a maximum interest rate of 4%. Terms and conditions apply. Find out more at sbci.gov.ie or call 1-800-804-482. This is a Government of Ireland initiative delivered by the SBCI. The SBCI, putting Irish SMEs first.
Brian Lally here. If country music is your thing, then do join me for Country Time every Saturday night just after 11. There'll be cheating songs, there'll be drinking songs, there'll be songs of love won and lost and won again. Lots of concert recordings and an occasional dip into the archives. So join me, Brian Lally, just after the 11 o'clock news every Saturday night for Country Time here on RTE Radio 1.
Liveline on RTE Radio 1 with the Kia 7-year warranty. Wherever the next 7 years bring you, Kia has you covered.
No! to Joe on 1850 715 815.
Brendan Gleeson, you've been in 98 films according to our listeners so far. Brendan, thanks indeed. Thank you so much for that was a conversation that went on.
Not at all, Joe. That was mortifying. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Get the mandolin into your hand there again, Brendan. You play us out, and I'll give out the details again of St. Francis Hospice, which is the reason you're so
Well, that's the big thing of it.
Okay, hope you get it.
It'd be all worth it if people
Mind yourself in your downtime.
A million on the right cause.
You so richly deserve it. Brendan Gleeson is playing us out today. From this lockdown, and the website of St. Francis Hospice, sfh.ie for your donation. Please, if you appreciate Brendan, you'll support his favourite cause at the minute. fsh.ie. Back tomorrow at 1:45, and Eddie Egan produced, and Ray Darcy is next.
Thanks very much to Joe Duffy and the great Brendan Gleeson. It's just after 3 o'clock on RTE Radio 1. Time to go to our newsroom and to Carla O'Brien.
Thanks, Ray, and good afternoon from the newsroom. More than 500,000 people were receiving some form of social welfare income support by the end of March, according to the latest live register figures from the Central Statistics Office. 283,000 of these were receiving the COVID-19 pandemic unemployment payment. In addition, over 25,000 people were benefiting from the temporary COVID-19 wage subsidy scheme. Our industry and employment correspondent, Ingrid Miley.
In light of the COVID-19 emergency, these latest live register figures were expected to be grim, and they didn't disappoint. Just a month ago, the country had an unemployment rate of 4.8%, technically full employment. In just 4 weeks, though, that has soared to somewhere around an estimated 17 to 18%, and with more applications for income support in the pipeline after further restrictions announced last Friday, things are set to get even worse. The Minister for Social Protection, Regina Doherty, described the figures as a stark reminder of how much had changed in the space of a few weeks, adding that COVID-19 had completely upended the narrative of full employment. She warned the crucial challenge was to ensure the government didn't let a temporary health emergency become a permanent economic crisis. The COVID support schemes are calculated to provide a short-term financial safety net, with the hope that in 12 weeks, people will either return to work or transition to job seeker benefits. But no one knows for sure when that will be.
The Dáil is sitting this afternoon following a decision of the Business Committee. After today, it will not reconvene for a fortnight and is due to return on April 16th. The Minister for Health, Simon Harris, has said the Dáil sitting today runs contrary to public health advice, which is to stay at home. He said he understood that the work of the Dáil had to be carried out in a transparent way, but he was deeply uneasy that the Dáil was meeting, which he said was risking public health. The Fianna Fáil leader has said his party and Fine Gael are on a clear pathway to develop a joint framework document that would have at its heart a transformative approach to economic recovery after COVID-19. Deputy Martin said every crisis brings with it opportunity, adding that health, housing and climate change are the areas where change is most needed.
We're going to have to prioritise certain areas. There will be a need, if we're honest, before COVID-19, the big issue with housing was if we ramp it up, do we overheat the economy? That's no longer now an issue. That's what I mean by an opportunity to hit the housing sector. In terms of health, what I mean by an opportunity is we've already ramped up spending significantly in the last 4 weeks. The Dáil has passed very significant funding across the board. Again, that presents an opportunity perhaps to look at the idea of a single-tier system more quickly than we might otherwise have.
RTE Radio 1 weather with ESB Networks. Stay safe, stay clear when working near overhead electricity wires. For emergencies, call 1850 372 999.
Some spring sunshine for a time across southwest counties. A mix of cloud and brief sunny spells elsewhere as scattered outbreaks of rain and drizzle continue to spread slowly southwards. Highest temperatures of 9 to 14 degrees, mildest further south. Breezier than recent days in fresh west to northwest breezes. And that's all for now. It's back to you, Ray.
Thanks, Carla. Thank you very much.
The Ray Darcy Show on RTE Radio 1 with All Care Pharmacy. Committed to providing essential services in these challenging times. At All Care, your local community pharmacy.
Don't you just love Brendan Gleeson. What an amazing actor and an amazing man and great company, and I just enjoyed that last hour and a quarter. Joe Duffy and Brendan Gleeson together. Just amazing, great crack and full of heart and great actor, and can't say enough about Brendan Gleeson. How are you this afternoon? 51551 for your text, or ray@rte.ie. And anything that's on your mind, if it's happy birthday, happy anniversary, something you're doing locally to help out people in these times of crisis, is it crises? Let us know about them. 51551 or ray@rte.ie. We were talking the other day about a professor from some university across the water who was saying that we will have strange dreams because our routines have been knocked here, there and everywhere. We're not getting as much exercise as we normally would. We're not going to work. A lot of us, we're working from home. We're probably eating stuff that we wouldn't normally eat. We're probably drinking more than we should, drinking more coffee, all that sort of thing. And as a result of all that and the anxiety, we're having strange dreams. Well, John was on to us overnight. He says, I had a dream last night that you were driving a BMW up Braveheart Hill in the Curragh. What you were doing there, I don't know. But you left the handbrake off and the car ended up in Kildare town. Thank God nobody was hurt. Please try to be more careful the next time you're in my dream. I woke up in a sweat. Cheers from John. That's great. I've never driven a BMW in my life, John. I'm nearly sure I haven't. Now, you know, over the years you'd be asked to do various things for television programs, but I don't think I've ever driven a BMW. Yeah, and would that happen if you left the handbrake off on Braveheart Hill in the Curragh? Would you end up in Kildare town? I doubt it very much. That's a strange one, isn't it? Catherine, while we're on movies and dreams and all that, will you ask RT to put on Shirley Valentine? She used to talk to the wall.